I didn't hesitate to cut my palm with a knife, and to my surprise, coins started pouring out of my mouth. The scene around me made the neighbors go completely crazy. Their eyes were filled with greed, and they stared at me constantly, urging me to keep cutting myself just to extract more wealth from me. But soon, the number of coins couldn't satisfy their greed. The poorest man in the village stepped forward, slapped me hard, and 2 shining gold pieces appeared on the ground. The villagers, seeing this, immediately rushed over, biting into the gold to confirm it was real, and their greed grew even stronger. My grandmother watched this in silence, her eyes filled with endless pain, but she couldn't stop the greedy crowd. Even worse, they imprisoned me in a dark cellar, torturing me for 6 whole months. Despite my repeated pleas begging them to let me go, they ignored me because all they wanted was my money. After months of torment, my body and spirit were at their limits, and eventually, I died at the hands of these cold-hearted villagers. But fate was kind to me, and I was reborn on the very day I first discovered the money tree. Looking at my grandmother, still alive, I swore to protect her this time. Just then, the neighbor rushed over, her face full of anxiety, telling me that the only well in the village had suddenly turned murky, and asking me to check it out. I agreed on the surface, but secretly, I had a plan. I secretly prepared a note, vowing to make them all pay soon. I arrived at the well, and the villagers had gathered around it. I pretended to examine it carefully, then calmly said that the water was fine, just a little high in minerals. Hearing this, a man from the village immediately grabbed a ladle and drank some of the water without hesitation. However, seconds after drinking, the well magically dried up. Seeing this, the village chief urgently ordered someone to check, but they found the money tree at the bottom of the well. Everyone was shocked and immediately started fighting over it. The village chief tried to take the money tree for himself, but the others refused to back down. At that moment, I spoke up, warning them that the dried-up water might be harmful to their health. I suggested that in 3 days, the entire village go for a checkup at the health clinic to avoid any potential issues, but my real goal was to make the man vomit the money in front of everyone. 3 days later, the checkup went ahead as planned. The man who drank the water already seemed uneasy. I noticed he probably knew the secret of vomiting money, but I didn't expose it yet, and instead prepared a more vicious revenge. During the checkup, I had set up a nail bench and had the man sit down. When he sat, the pain almost made him vomit coins, but he, desperate to keep the secret, swallowed the coins back down. Seeing his painful struggle, I pretended to care, picking up some alcohol to treat his wound. In his intense pain, I forced him to perform the coin vomiting trick in front of everyone. At that moment, he couldn't hold it in anymore, and the first coin came out. Everyone was shocked. But then, the man claimed he had drunk too much the night before and accidentally swallowed the coin as he tried to leave. I told him I would give him a tetanus shot. Hearing this, the man panicked and tried to run, but the village chief's men grabbed him and brought him back. With one needle, the man couldn't stop himself and began to vomit coins uncontrollably. As this continued, the villagers realized that every time the man felt pain, money would pour out of him. They quickly pinned him to the table, and their expressions changed as I continued to treat his wound. His painful cries echoed around us, and the coins kept coming out of his mouth. This was only the beginning of my plan for revenge.